On this episode of the Hanford Insider, we'll get a chance to catch up with Kayla Houk to hear about the opening of the new location of Off the Vine restaurant in downtown Hanford. Rob will give us an update of the latest Hanford news and a quick rundown of the community calendar. Then later, I'll be back with your sports report. This is the Hanford Insider for Monday, May 12th.
This is the Hanford Insider, the podcast where we dive into what makes our community tick. From local stories and hidden gems to conversations with people shaping our neighborhood, we're here to celebrate, explore, and connect. I'm your host, Rob Bentley. Whether you're new to Hanford or a longtime local, this is your source for everything happening in our town. From events and news to conversations with people who make Hanford such a unique community. I hope you enjoy the format. If you like the show, consider donating at buymeacoffee.com/Hanford Insider. I appreciate the consideration. Don't forget that we're also on YouTube at Hanford Insider. Like and subscribe to the channel to be notified when we're going to go live or covering a special event. On Wednesday night this week, Eric will be joining me live along with some coaches to talk about the playoff seedings for the upcoming Central Section baseball and softball playoffs. Now let's take a look at this week's community news. The Hanford City Council met last week. At the meeting, they approved the painting of 3 murals in town, a creative one at the King's Art Center, a Hanford-themed one on the side of the building at 114 North Irwin Street, and one on the exterior walls of the plunge that faces Lacey Boulevard, promoting this long-time summer activity in Hanford. The public hearing regarding streetlight requirements in the new Live Oak subdivision was continued as more information is still being gathered. The council did vote to send the proposed transient occupancy tax increase from 8% to 12% to the voters to decide in November. This tax is not paid by residents, but those visitors to our town who stay in hotels or short-term rentals. This will keep us in line with other destinations without significantly impacting visitor demand. It was reported last week that the city of Hanford is one of the fastest-growing cities in the state of California. The population has now been estimated at just over 61,000 people, which is a 2.3% increase from 2024. Other Valley cities on the top 10 list include Merced and Tulare. Keep up the good work, Hanford. This is big news to potential restaurants and businesses that are looking at coming into our town. Now let's take a look at this week's community calendar. At this week's Thursday Night Marketplace, it's Small Business Appreciation Night with music by the band Brown Sugar. On Tuesday, May 13th, the Sierra Pacific High School Music Department will be holding a cultural celebration concert at the Presentation Center beginning at 7 p.m. The Great Hanford Bike Swap will be held at the King's Fairgrounds on May 16th and 17th. The Storybook Garden and Museum will be holding Art for a Change on May 16th at 6 p.m. The annual Kings County Serve Day will be held throughout town on Saturday, May 17th. Contact the Koinonia Church to volunteer or find out more information. The Hanford Cali Fitness Street Fest will be held on 4th Street on May 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Children's Storybook Garden and Princess and Pirate Picnic will be held on May 18th. Visit children'sstorybookgarden.org for details. On Thursday, May 22nd, King's Behavioral Health is sponsoring Breaking the Stigma Conference at the Glad Tidings Church from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Topics will cover the intersection between substance use and mental health to provide better support, foster recovery, and save lives. The King's Players production of Eat Your Heart Out opens May 24th and runs through the middle of June. For more information, visit kingsplayers.org. The San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution and Control District is holding a free smog repair event at the King's Fairgrounds on Saturday, May 31st from 8 a.m. to until noon. Gates open up as early as 6:30 a.m. Expect to wait. But you can get free repairs up to $500 if your car fails the first test. For more information, visit valleycan.org. The Downtown Hanford Car Show, hosted by the Carnegie Museum of Kings County, will be held on Saturday, June 7th. Over 200 cars are expected. Early registration ends this Thursday. Visit carnegiecarshow.com for more information. Saturday, June 7th at 3 p.m. is also the date of the Century of Memories celebration, marking the 100th anniversary of the dedication of the Hanford Civic Auditorium. This special centennial event will bring together residents, families, and visitors to honor the rich legacy of the Civic Auditorium and reflect on the history, culture, and spirit that have helped shape Hanford over the past 100 years. There'll be historical displays, videos, a ceremony featuring the John Philip Sousa Tribute Band, and everyone gets a piece of cake afterwards. The ceremony is free, and everyone is invited to attend. Find out more about this event at hanfordca.gov/civic100. If you have an event coming up and you'd like some help getting the word out, let's work together. Send your information to hanfordinsider@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe to my weekly newsletter to get a complete calendar of events. It's the most comprehensive community calendar available. Well, it is so awesome to be here at Off the Vine in downtown Hanford with Kayla Houk. How are you doing, Kayla?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Hey, Kayla, this is a really exciting time to be in downtown Hanford, and I know that Off the Vine just recently relocated from Irwin and Ivy. But before we get into the new place, let's kind of go back to where it started. And I know that you've been involved in preparing meals, and that's kind of been a big part of your life, hasn't it?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I think it started in my early 20s with my passion behind food and looking at tarring trees and painting trees and using the walnuts and realizing we have everything we need in the Central Valley and why aren't we using it? And it's just sparked from there for sure. Definitely started during the pandemic after we all lost our jobs pretty much as chefs. I was over in Monterey and I moved back over here and I started, Char by Cake, which was a charcuterie company that delivered charcuterie to doorsteps. During that pandemic time, we were able to start from 3 to 10 boxes a week to about 30 boxes a day, anywhere from Hanford, Lemoore, Visalia, Tulare, all the way to Fresno. And I had my nieces and my nephews working for me. It became a family affair. And after, a year and a half or so during the pandemic, a little spot in Hanford opened up. And once that little spot opened up, I said, hey, let's go for it.
Was that the spot at Irwin and Ivy?
The Irwin and Ivy spot, yeah. That's where our starting platform was. We went in during the pandemic, we remodeled it, and we opened during the pandemic.
That's pretty incredible to open during the pandemic. I'm sure that was full of enough challenges.
Yeah, all the to-go stuff, the plasticware, no one was allowed to dine in. We had the health department saying, hey, entrance and exit only. So we had the 8 feet apart. We had lines out the door right when we opened. We had to ask everyone outside even to stand 8 feet apart for health department requests. So I think right off the bat, we kind of made a hit or a splash in this town because of what we were offering.
So let's talk a little bit about that. We had discussed earlier about the need for good, healthy food choices in Hanford, and there hasn't been that many.
Correct. Yeah. I think even down to our dressings, not using any fake sugars or additives. We use local honey to sweeten up our dressings, our raspberry vinaigrette, that's very popular, our balsamic. I think that just the need and want for that in town, as well for myself, is where it all really did begin. We literally live in the hottest spot of the valley where we get fresh peaches, we get fresh strawberries, we get anything you can think of is grown here in our valley. Why wouldn't we use it? That's what I wanted to figure out. And I think once I started using it, everyone reacted as well to it. We get farmers from Fresno, Tulare, Visalia. They will even come drop off produce. Hey, come try my produce out. I get the rarest pluots, some stuff that people have never even heard of, even in our own town. And it's just exciting to be able to work with, one, our farmers, and two, produce that when it comes in, you can smell it, you can taste it, you can see it. It's just a different experience for me when we get to use that product. And overall, our salads, our sandwiches, everything we do is from scratch. Mm-hmm. There's never anything coming out of a bag. pre-frozen. We didn't even have a freezer at our last location. So for 3 years, there was nothing frozen ever coming out of our facility.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good sign for everyone else. I mean, here now we have simple things like kids' chicken nuggets and stuff like that will have to be obviously,
So you were open there at Irwin and Ivy, and you were able to build the customer base. Word got out about it, and you had dreams of expansion. And in downtown Hanford, you were able to find a building that was available. Tell us about this place. For those of you who don't know, you might be aware that this building was actually the Fatte Albert's pizza place for a while, and then it became vacant. And Kayla, tell us how that all came about.
So I had heard one day that possibly this space was going to be open. I got a hold of the owners. They had no clue who I was. And I said, hey, I'm Kayla. I own Off the Vine. This spot would be absolutely perfect for us. It's been a lifelong goal to be on Main Street itself. And leading the expansion, because we only had about 20 tables or 20 seats in the last location, and now we've grown to about 80 seats. We fill this house up almost every day still during lunchtime. And it was definitely a transition, to say the least, but it's a great transition. Everyone is very, very excited about it, and also very happy that there's air conditioning. So,
and you're getting a lot of the local businesses and people that work downtown. They have another choice now for food.
Exactly. Yeah, we were definitely targeted more on our Main Street and downtown businesses, as well as our Teacher Wednesdays. Now they all love it because there could be 30 of them and they could all sit together.
Yeah.
So,
for sure. So let's get to the food. The best part about Off the Vine. What are some of your signature meals or sandwiches that people enjoy when they come?
I would definitely say our biggest sellers are smoked bird, which is, caramelized onions, our braised turkey, which we do in-house every day. We do a smoked Gouda cheese, garlic aioli in-house made, and it's on a sourdough baguette, and we probably sell about 50 at least a day.
And what's your favorite?
I would say definitely smoked bird, but I also love the pesty turkey. And another big seller is our peppered chicken, which is a spicy chicken sandwich. You know how our town loves heat, so yeah. So
true confessions for everybody. I am a customer at Off the Vine, and my three favorites are the pesty turkey sandwich. I've also had the tri-tip sandwich, is delicious. And when they opened up the news place, my first taste test was of the hot Italian. I love these sandwiches. They're so great. So tell us about this food that you're getting. Why does it taste so good? What do you do for sourcing your products?
So we do use a local vendor, but we also use our local farmers. At the end of the day, I pretty much just go through and source everything myself. I look at it, I feel it, I taste it. I want to make sure that it's good enough for my customers. I think we pride ourselves on what kind of ingredients go on our sandwiches, our salads, our appetizers, whatever it may be, because that we don't have to manipulate the ingredients as much if they come fresh, and they're like our cheeses are imported, stuff that is actual quality and not quantity.
For sure. Well, we know the restaurant is beautiful. I mean, it's you've done such a wonderful job. But there's another side to Off the Vine that's really important to your business model that's really helped with the success of Off the Vine. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the collaborations that you've had and some of the special things that you do to kind of share the experience across the community?
Yeah, we are lucky enough to work with, a couple different bartending companies, one being B2 Bartending, or B Squared Bartending, I apologize. Charm House, they have been nothing but great. We love working with the Charm House venue. We have Gradesville Oaks right around the corner, Children's Storybook Garden. A lot of our local venues suggest us and recommend us, as well as we suggest and recommend them as well. And it does make for an easier compilation for our guests and our clients and our customers to be able to just one-stop shop with my collaborations with all the people that we do work with.
And another way to get the food, of course, is online. You have an online ordering portal on your website. What's the website again, the address?
It's going to be Toast, which sounds just like toast that's going to pop out of your toaster oven in the morning. And then you go straight over to Off the Vine, and the online ordering process is pretty seamless, pretty straightforward. You can order it ahead of time. That way you can avoid any rushes during lunch. You can order it while you're sitting at your desk and you need something for your family for dinner. In 30 minutes, it'll be ready. our online ordering does play a huge part in our success to off the vine and the less wait times.
Yeah, it's such an important part of society now, is getting food delivered and having it ready. They can order ahead, those types of things. And as well as a great website, you also have social media with Instagram pages that I think probably the thing that impressed me the most was you have it's not just a website. It's like a menu. You have all of the different things that you offer menu-wise, plus the catering, the charcuterie boards, those types of things. Tell us how the website and your social media plays an important part in what you do.
I definitely think when we are recommended by people, we immediately tell them to jump onto our website, which is www.eotv.com. It will give you our lunch menu. It'll give you our catering menus, our charcuterie offerings, as well as our social media. You can just click the link and head over onto our online site. You can see all of our pictures, all the work we've done, all the catering events we are involved in, and altogether just what we offer as a whole, a little bit of a background of Off the Vine as well as on our website. And it's kind of a easier solution than trying to chase us around and see what we offer, what we have, or walking in here and asking about a menu or what this looks like. We always refer to our social media or our online platform, which is our website.
Well, definitely shout out to your social media team for doing such a great
Absolutely.
job. Speaking of shout outs, you have a lot of people here working behind the counter.
Yes.
I'm sure you have a few that are off today, but let's give a shout out to some of your employees.
Yeah, I have my head chef, which is Anthony. He is here pretty much every single day. You'll see him. He works nonstop. He is our main guy in our kitchen. I have my front of house manager, who is Araya, who has actually been working for me for almost 3 years now. She's a gem. She's the one that helps everyone with all the catering and all the questions, as well as I have some family that works for me. And my other guys are just great. I have a lot of them that came from the last shop to the new shop. So I appreciate my employees because they do work really hard, and sometimes conditions that are not as tolerable as we'd like to admit.
Yeah, they're always very friendly and have a smile on their face and welcome you when you come in. How about the community in general, people that have given you positive feedback and really encouraged you along the way to do this?
Yeah, so everyone that pretty much uses us for catering or anything around here, especially like Griswold right across the street, the attorney's office, you know, they brought us a big old welcoming gift and a bottle of champagne. Welcome to the neighborhood. We have, you know, our screen printing company. I believe their name's FTG. Mm-hmm. They came over here. Hey, how can we help you guys? Do you guys need any signs made? They are open. What can we do to you do for you to welcome you to downtown Hanford? And altogether, even my neighbor, you know, Craig over at Salmon's, he's over there fighting the good fight of trying to get this road open for us. And everyone's very supportive in this town, and it's just nice. It's very nice to be a part of this community.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. The intersection of Harris and 7th is undergoing a major remodel with the new cart station. And you've had to deal with some of the construction traffic and the signs kind of blocking your parking. But I noticed today it's open.
Yeah. So I think we got to, you know, a really good city council member who was really worried about the success of us moving in here, and us mentioning that, unfortunately, the last couple of Saturdays, people have not even been able to access our location, which is obviously it's condemning to us a little bit. I do think that the road construction signs were moved. It has definitely helped, and hopefully in the future we can prevent anything like that happening.
So let's get on to future plans. So you're off to a great start here. What are your future plans for this spot and maybe down the line?
For this spot, we would definitely like to expand our dinner menu eventually. Our ABC license is still in the process. We're hoping no more than 30 days we will be able to serve us some brunch with some mimosas, or a beer with pizza. Outside of that, you know, I've now set on my location here. I don't foresee us moving anytime soon. It's a beautiful location. I'm super happy with everything. I would love to expand eventually and open up some sort of steakhouse, if it can be on Main Street or not, but keeping downtown Hanford is one of our dreams and goals too.
Well, I think your location, the proximity to the cart station, in an earlier episode, I had interviewed the people from CART, and they were talking about how that's taking place and going to take place. And I see a lot more foot traffic downtown in the future.
Correct. I also see that. I do think that the renovations that we're doing for our downtown are necessary. And I do think that it will help us. I just foresee maybe a little bit more of issues with, I don't know, with our homeless people, unfortunately. But that's the only thing I'm really worried about on the cart bus station being opened up over there.
Yeah. Well, Kayla, thank you so much for sitting down with us this afternoon. We're so excited for Off the Vine and the growth that we've seen in the business, and I am thankful for the food. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And now it's time for Hanford Insider Sports with Eric Bentley.
Almost all of the baseball and softball regular seasons have come to a close, and playoff brackets will be released on Wednesday, so we'd like to invite you to tune in to the Hanford Insider YouTube page for our live bracket coverage on Wednesday evening to see who and where our local teams will be playing. Now, let's get to the action, where Hanford West softball picked up a pair of wins last week to take home the Tri-County Kings League title with a perfect 8-0 league record. In Tuesday's league finale with Kingsburg, the game was tied at 2 heading to the bottom of the 6th inning before the Huskies offense came to life, scoring 3 runs to take the 5-2 lead. Then senior pitcher Rylan Montoya came back out and tossed a scoreless 7th inning to secure the win. Friday's non-league matchup with Sierra Pacific yet again featured a 6th inning outburst. This time, the Huskies plating 6 runs to take the 7-3 win. Carmen Vasquez hit her team-leading 10th home run in the Huskies' victory as they sweep the Golden Bears in both of their matchups this year. Hanford West finishes the regular season 19-6 overall, including a perfect 9-0 at home, and are riding a 6-game win streak into playoff action. Another congratulations to the Huskies for their Tri-County Kings League title. As for Sierra Pacific softball, aside from the loss to the Huskies, the Golden Bears fell in their league finale to Emmanuel 9-2. Their 6-2 league record is good enough for a second-place finish in the Tri-County Sequoia League, finishing the regular season 14-12 overall. And Hanford High softball split their 2 league games last week. On Wednesday versus Tulare Western, a huge day at the plate from Jasmine Rojas propelled the Bullpups to a 14-3 victory as the sophomore went 4 for 5 with 6 runs batted in. Friday's matchup with league-leading Mission Oaks saw the Hawks take the 6-0 win over the Bullpups as Hanford High finishes their season 9-14-2 overall, 3-6 in WIL play. On to baseball now, where thanks to a split in the Kingsburg-Kerman series, Sierra Pacific Baseball locked up the Tri-County Kings League title with a 6-2 record. As for what happened on the field last week, the Golden Bears split their non-league series with Hanford West to close out their regular season 18-8. In Wednesday's game at Hanford West, Harrison Grant's 4th inning 2 RBI double proved to be the difference offensively, as Caleb Coolwine kept the Huskies' bats at bay, allowing only 1 run in his 7 innings on the mound in the 2-1 Sierra Pacific victory. In Friday's matchup, it was Hanford West playing spoiler to Sierra Pacific Senior Day as the Huskies came away victorious 3-2. Another congratulations to the Golden Bears on their Tri-County Kings League title as they'll await their playoff fate on Wednesday. As for Hanford West, the victory over Sierra Pacific to close out their regular season gives them an 11-14 overall record with a 3-5 league record. And Hanford High Baseball split a pair of league games last week. On Wednesday at Tulare Western, the Bullpups jumped out to a 4-0 first-inning lead that proved to be the difference as both teams traded 3 spots in the 7th in the 7-3 ball game. Hayden Keeney picked up the win for the Bullpups, tossing 6 shutout innings, striking out 8. On Friday, it was the WIL champion Mission Oak who got the better of the Bullpups 3-2. At 13-13 overall and 9-5 in league play, Hanford High still has one more opportunity to bolster their playoff resume as they'll face off with Lemoore on Monday. Again, we'll have live coverage of the baseball and the softball bracket releases on the Hanford Insider YouTube channel Wednesday evening, so make sure you tune in. In other sports news, congratulations to the Sierra Pacific girls varsity 4x100 relay team. The team of Addison Covarrubias, Lila Love, Ella Fritz, and Michaela Sims have been blazing their way across the track and through the Sierra Pacific record books all year long, breaking the school record several times throughout the course of the year. They'll get a chance to break it again, this time on a big stage at the section championships, so best of luck. And over to the pool, where the Hanford West boys water polo have found a new coach, but a familiar face. Shout out to Anthony Castellani, who will make his return to lead the Huskies after previously serving as the Hanford West head coach from 2013 to 2020. As always, we like to cover as many local sports as we can, so if you have a score report, a story idea, or a team update, please let us know at hanfordinsider@gmail.com. I'm Eric Bentley, and this has been your Hanford Insider Sports Report.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. If you enjoyed this podcast and you'd like to show your support, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Hanford Insider to make a donation. If you'd like to join the Hanford Insider email list, stop by my website at hanfordinsider.com to sign up for updates. You'll also get an exclusive copy of my newsletter in your inbox each week. I also need your help getting the word out about the show by liking and sharing on social media or telling a friend. For more information about the show, you can find this podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, and YouTube at Hanford Insider. If you have a show idea, be sure to email me at hanfordinsider@gmail.com and I'll look into it. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.